What's up YouTube? Luke coming at you. I'm gonna do a set update. I think this was a last video I made also was about 5-6 months ago, after last year's Nationals, to give one card added to the set, and it put me complete. Well, I am back to theoretically complete, but with the release of Panini 1 and soon to be plates and patches, 17 more cards for the set will be coming out, and who knows by the time I locate all those how many more will be released, and then I'll do another update once I get caught back up. But I do have all 160 that have been released prior to today. Here I'm going to show all 160, try and go through it pretty quick. I've been working on this set since 2015. I've had tons of people hit me up about this set, and I have no problem answering the best of my abilities about it. Players, teams, what products they were in, how often that they came out, and I can give you a ballpark figure on what the value of the cards are. Sometimes, if they haven't been seen for a while, they can fetch a pretty good penny. I try and get them at release time so that I don't pay absorbent crazy amounts of money. Stop trying to use big words. So see if I don't talk about more stuff as we go along. This will be my third time trying to make this video, and people keep calling me, so my phone's on airplane mode, and hopefully my dogs don't come in or my wife doesn't call me to make dinner. So I have about 30 minutes to get this done, and I might go a little fast because I've gotten about halfway through it both times, and I can't go into a whole bunch of detail on every single card, but I will do my best. Let's begin with Super Bowl 1. So these will go in Super Bowl order, and all but Super Bowl 50 and 52 have at least one Super Bowl winner in it. Sometimes they have the Super Bowl loser, which I like both of them, just because it shows the accomplishment of making the Super Bowl. So this one was one of the ones that had just released in, I think, December, January, and he passed in the beginning of December, so his prices went up, and this is the first I think one that came out after him passing, and it's been a while since he had a nice on-card auto. So I was happy to add Jim Taylor to my collection. It's my only Jim Taylor, so he counts towards my Hall of Fame player autographs that I keep. So nice to have Jim Taylor for Super Bowl 1. Hopefully there's more guys that are alive that can sign from Super Bowl 1, but we will see. Here's for Super Bowl 2, Forrest Gregg. Most of them I have are graded 9, 5, 10, and I'll go through the ones that make light of the ones that I don't or need an upgrade of. So here's Super Bowl 2, the ones that didn't win. The loser, Daryle Lamonica. On to Super Bowl 3, Joe Namath, where he made good on his promise to win the Super Bowl. They played the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl 3, and they were the heavy underdogs and were able to win. That's the only one for Super Bowl 3. Super Bowl 4, Len Dawson, the Chiefs' only second Super Bowl appearance, and they won it. They were in Super Bowl 1 with the Green Bay Packers. So, one of 2 kickers in the Hall of Fame, Jan Stenerud. And then their opponent, Carl Eller. Super Bowl 5, the Baltimore Colts won this Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys. So, Ted Hendricks. Then you got Bob Lilly, the opponent for the Baltimore Colts. And then Dallas Cowboys went back the following year and won that Super Bowl. So Super Bowl 6, led by Roger Staubach. And a Hall of Fame tight end, might have heard of him, Mike Ditka. And then This one just got back from grading, Rayfield Wright. You can see his age in his signature. It's kind of sad that it's pretty shaky. So I have seen some good versions of it, so I need to upgrade it to a 9.5/10, so I might, or I will get one that's a better autograph and better representation of his auto for my upgrade. But it's nice to at least have a placeholder in the meantime. Their opponent, the Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl 6, Paul Warfield. Super Bowl 7, I believe this is the undefeated Miami Dolphins. It was either Super Bowl 7 or Super Bowl 8 Miami Dolphins. So Bob Greasy and Jim Kick. Then for Super Bowl 8, Larry Csonka against the Minnesota Vikings. Fran Tarkenton, another one that needs to upgrade. I think this was in Panini Lux. So the ones that I found that were in Panini Lux were always in rough conditions. So those ones are hard to find to upgrade. This one, I don't remember what product this Terry Bradshaw was in, but Super Bowl 9 Terry Bradshaw, because he does have 4 autos throughout this product so far, or he does have 4, the 4 Super Bowls he won. And then Franco Harris for Super Bowl 9, and Jack Ham for Super Bowl 9. On to Super Bowl 10. Here's the second Terry Bradshaw. A lot of these guys, if they've made multiple for them, if they had multiple Super Bowls. So Terry Bradshaw is a pretty hard one to track down, but I have all 4 of those, and 3 of the 4 are 9.5/10, which I am so glad I don't have to buy more. Here's one that actually got numbered. This was one of the first ones to ever get released, and I think this was the first one I bought that started this whole set. So Joe Green, Super Bowl 10, 14/25. But mostly they are not numbered, and I don't know the print runs. I've asked Panini for them, and unfortunately I have not been given a list with print runs. Here's one for Jack Lambert. Very cool. And then Super Bowl 11, Oakland Raiders, Fred Biletnikoff. And then, again for the Raiders, Art Shell. And then the only punter in the Hall of Fame, Ray Guy. And then their opponent, again, the Minnesota Vikings, have made it to 3 Super Bowls and have not won one yet. Super Bowl 12, Tony Dorsett, 9.5/10. They played the Denver Broncos in that Super Bowl. And then here's 2 more that need to be graded. Cliff Harris and Randy White for Super Bowl 12. Super Bowl 13. The third Terry Bradshaw in the set, 9.5/10. And then the second Jack Ham, 9.5/10. And then the second Randy White, and this one he was on the team that didn't win, but Randy White there. And Super Bowl 14, Terry Bradshaw. And then John Stallworth. This one doesn't count towards my total. I think I have 138 graded 9.5/10. I don't count the 9 autos towards that yet, because I'm hoping to one day get them all 9.5/10 or better. There will be some 10/10s in there. But he's the only one to sign both front and back so far. So it's pretty cool to have that one. And I'd like to try and upgrade those to 9.5/10s. Then their opponent, the Los Angeles Rams, Jack Youngblood. Super Bowl 15, Jim Plunkett, 9.5/10. And then Cliff Branch. And their opponent, the Philadelphia Eagles, Ron Jaworski or Jaws. And then this guy, he's going to have 4 autos in this set, and all of those are 9/5/10. So nice Joe Montana. These ones are hardly ever come up, and I've had people ask if I've ever seen them, and I say only at release is when I've seen most of these, or a majority of the short prints are only at release, and then they end up in player or team collections. And I think there's one or two other set builders out there. I think I've spawned a couple more, but don't think they understand what they're undertaking. And me grading it's just, I'm in too deep now, but if I could go back, I would not grade them. But this is the second one, one of the 2 guys that have passed away that are in the set. So Dwight Clark, rest in peace. And then Super Bowl 18s, Joe Theismann for the Washington Redskins. And Hall of Famer John Riggins, 9/5/10. And then Super Bowl 18, another Hall of Famer, Marcus Allen, 9/5/10. Ray Guy's second appearance for Super Bowl 18. This is for the Los Angeles Raiders. They had made the move. I think they only won 1 Super Bowl in LA. The other 2 were in Oakland. And then Jim Plunkett. And then for Super Bowl 19, his second time making an appearance, Joe Montana. And then Ronnie Lott. Then Roger Craig, another one that needs to get graded. Then their opponent, his only Super Bowl appearance, Dan Marino, 9/5/10. All right, on to the 85 Bears, Super Bowl 20, led by head coach Mike Ditka. He inscribed Hall of Fame 88 on his stuff, even though that was for his player years, but still cool to have this Mike Ditka. Jim McMahon, you can see his little headband that goes around his neck, and then he had a huge face mask for a quarterback, but that was the 80s. So Jim McMahon, and probably to hopefully help prevent concussions, but I don't think that worked out so well for him. So 9/5/10. Gary Fennick for the Chicago Bears. I think the 85 Bears, they have made the most so far for them. Then you've got Dan Hampton. And then I know that they made a Mike Singletary, so that would be 5 for that team. So, and then their opponent were the New England Patriots. John Hanna, Hall of Famer, and then see, like his was numbered to 500. So I tried to get his jersey number, but that 72 went off from his jersey number. Another one that got numbered, Steve Grogan. Another 9/5/10. For Super Bowl 21, the New York Giants, Lawrence Taylor. And led by their head coach, Bill Parcells. Another one that got numbered, and this is the second lowest numbered one that they've actually put a serial number on. That's 22/24. And then Mark Bavaro. And that's actually 44/73. Again, most of these are not serial numbered. Like Carl Banks, 9/5/10. And then Pepper Johnson. That's all for the New York Giants. So that one actually had 5 also. So there's a few teams that are well represented for their Super Bowls. Then that was their opponent was the Denver Broncos, Vance Johnson. And then Super Bowl 22, the Super Bowl MVP Doug Williams, 9/5/10. And then Hall of Famer Darrell Green. And then Ricky Sanders. And then his third appearance now in the set, Super Bowl 23, Joe Montana. With his receiver Jerry Rice, 9/5/10. And then Charles Haley, he's in this twice, but he's in different uniforms. He's got one in the Cowboys, but he's won the Super Bowl, I believe, 5 times. Where him and Brady were tied with 5, and Brady just now is the only player to have 6 Super Bowl wins. So Charles Haley, 9/5/10. That one just came back from grading. Another one that just came back from grading, Bill Romanowski. Very cool, 9/5/10. Then their opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals, Chris Collinsworth. And running back, Ickey Woods. That's Super Bowl 23. And then his 4th appearance, Super Bowl 24, Joe Montana. And then this is another Roger Craig, 9/5/10. This one just came back, Tom Rathman. And then this Bill Parcells is not numbered for Super Bowl 25 with Otis Anderson. Against the Buffalo Bills. I think this was their best chance to win the Super Bowl, was Super Bowl 25, where I think they were wide. What was it? Wide right was what happened with the field goal that could have either tied it or won the game for them. But Jim Kelly, this is the first Super Bowl that they actually wore a patch for that Super Bowl. So that's how most of these pictures, I believe, are from the actual Super Bowl, from that game. They're represented. There's not continuity with the photos, so they might have been from a different Super Bowl or the championship game. But you've got Thurman Thomas. Like this photo, you can't really tell if it was from the Super Bowl. I mean, he's wearing the away jersey like everyone else. I'd have to photo match like this moment, which would be near impossible. This one's going to be hard to find in a 10 auto version because Bruce Smith loves to finish his stuff off card every time. Rarely does it stay on card. And then you have to find one that's in 9.5 condition. So I'll probably just stick with that 9.59. Here's one, I think the first pristine 10 in the set, Charles Mann. And majority of these I graded myself. So this is off of my eye. Some I did buy graded, like Jim Taylor, I bought graded. But I've sent a majority of these in, like Gary Clark. And then this Super Bowl 28 or 27 Cowboys, I think, is well represented. So here's Troy Aikman. And this Emmett just came back from grading, 9.5/10. So glad I only had to buy one of these. Dog hair. So 9.5/10 for Emmett. So there's a scratch on this case, but I'm okay with that for now. One day I might go through and pick out ones I'd like to upgrade the cases that have just kind of rattled around in boxes. But now that they have their Super Bowl box, which is actually sitting over there, they don't move around too much. I had these up on display on my, I had put a post on Facebook of the display cases for the Super Bowl week, and that's why I'm doing this video. Is I took them down and they're going to go back in their box until next year's Super Bowl. So the autos don't get messed up and I don't have to worry about them. So Jimmy Johnson. And then Michael Irvin. 9.5/10. And then this is the other Charles Haley in his Cowboys uniform. And this is another pristine 10. Usually when he signs, he likes to make little smiley faces in his C. But this was the best one I got, so it's what made the set. Then you've got Andre Reed, 9-5-10. Their opponent, another Bills Super Bowl. Then they went back-to-back for Super Bowl 28, a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, Emmitt Smith. Troy Aikman, 9-5-10. Bill Bates, 9-10, one I need to upgrade. Then Jay Novacek. Then Super Bowl 29, the 49ers were taken over by Steve Young. He won a Super Bowl. And then my third pristine 10, Deion Sanders, with a 10 auto, which is very hard for Deion. He likes to sign with a super dry marker, or he just goes so quick that he creates lots of streaks in his auto. But I was able to get another 10-10. So I am super happy about that one. Then Ricky Watters, who has a very cool inscribed auto with a star to dot his I in Ricky. So I think that's pretty cool. Then on to Super Bowl 30. Another Dallas Cowboy win. And this will be the last win that they have forever. I don't know if they'll ever make it back to the Super Bowl, but they did get a playoff win this year, which was impressive on its own. So didn't they get, I think they won a playoff game. But here you go, Dallas Cowboys, Troy Aikman. This one just came in. I think he'll make the Hall of Fame here soon, but Darren Woodson, 9-5-10. And their opponent, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dermontti Dawson, Hall of Famer. On to Super Bowl 31, Brett Favre. That's a hard one to track down. This one is a new one from this year's contenders that I had graded. He's another one that's going to be hard to get, one that's not a streaky auto. But I have a buddy sending some in. Hopefully he gets 2, so he keeps 1 gem, and I'm able to upgrade my 9-9 Andre Rison. And I think he only played a few games with the Packers, and then he went to, where did he end up going after? He went to Falcons, then the Packers, and I can't remember, the Jaguars for a little bit, I think. But yeah, he did play in Super Bowl 31 that helped secure the win. If you follow Bearcat 8, he talks about Andre Rison in that Super Bowl, if you go check out his video. But Mark Tremora. On to one of my favorite Super Bowls, Super Bowl 32. I remember this game like it was yesterday. This one actually was, the MVP was Terrell Davis, but they put him in Super Bowl 33. But still cool to have John Elway for the set. And this is where, if you see, John Elway wore you can see he wore the home jersey with the Super Bowl patch. And I think this Shannon Sharpe is from Super Bowl 33, but they put it for Super Bowl 32. Which I mean, it's only little details that most people wouldn't notice. But I really like to notice all these little details. And then Robert Brooks for Super Bowl 32, the opponent for the Broncos. And then here we go, Super Bowl 33, John Elway, another pristine 10. And then this was he was the MVP for Super Bowl 33. But here's Terrell Davis for Super Bowl 33. And then the receiver, Rod Smith. And then the other receiver, the other side, Ed McCaffrey. Need to add some defensive players for those. Get Romanowski since he signed 49ers, or Atwater. That'd be cool. And then for the greatest show on turf, the one Super Bowl win for this was the St. Louis Rams. Kurt Warner, the grocery bag boy. And then his receiver, who should be making the Hall of Fame one of these years, Isaac Bruce. And then for Super Bowl 35, he didn't win one with the Steelers, but he won one with the Ravens, Rod Woodson. And then Jonathan Ogden, one of the few linemen to make the set. And actually their quarterback, Trent Dilfer. And unfortunately they had him sign a non-winning Super Bowl, but Michael Strahan, hopefully they can rectify that and get him to sign one that he did win one with the Giants. And you got, for help win Brady's first Super Bowl, Adam Vinatieri, a 9.510. And Troy Brown. And then I think this is my fourth pristine 10. Joe Andruzzi. And then Ted Johnson. And their opponent, unfortunately, they put him in his losing uniform, Kurt Warner. Well, I guess they gave him both, but they put Marshall Faulk in the non-winning Super Bowl. But that's it for Super Bowl 36. And then you got Super Bowl 37, Derek Brooks, another one that's hard to find a 10 auto. And I could see this one going either way with the streaks, but it's the best one I could find. Nice Derek Brooks, 9.510. Then Warren Sapp. And then Mike Alstott. And their opponent was the Oakland Raiders with Tim Brown's only Super Bowl appearance. And this is the first Tom Brady, not his first win, but his first appearance in the set. This is a 9.510. Their opponents were the Carolina Panthers, Steve Smith. And then this is Brady's other win. He doesn't have a card in yet, but Super Bowl 39, Deion Branch. On to the Super Bowl 40s. So Super Bowl 40, led by Big Ben Roethlisberger. And then the bus, Jerome Bettis. Probably Jerome Bettis and then Jack Youngblood are like my favorite autos of how unique and intricate they make their signatures. Hines Ward is next for Super Bowl 40, Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Super Bowl 41, Peyton Manning. And this is the only card they have so far for Peyton Manning. Hopefully they add one for Super Bowl 50. Granted, he didn't do much in that Super Bowl, but he still led us to help lead us to victory. But another one for Super Bowl 41, Reggie Wayne. And then their opponent, the Chicago Bears, Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher. And then return specialist, Devin Hester. And this is Tom Brady's first Super Bowl loss, was against Eli Manning. And that's only one for Super Bowl 42 so far. And then they got Super Bowl 43. Need to focus on where the camera is. Second one for Big Ben Roethlisberger. And then James Harrison. I think that's the one where he had the return for 96 yards, interception for a touchdown. Brett Kessel. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his crazy beard. You can't see it in this picture. And that would have been a fun one to have. And then for Edgerrin James. That was their opponent. On to Super Bowl 44. Got Drew Brees, 959. Would love to upgrade that auto, but his stuff is now skyrocketed in price. His receiver, Marquise Colston, 9510. And then another great one to have in the collection, Aaron Rodgers, 9510. I need to scoot this stacks over. All right. His receiver, Jordy Nelson, 9510. And I've sent probably 3 or 4 of these guys in. The best I can do is a 959. And he goes off card down here in the black, which is hard to see unless you have it in hand. But Donald Driver. Let me know if you have a Donald Driver that gets a 9510, and I'll give you trade you that and some money to get the pristine or a nice 9510 in the set, and I don't have to keep trying for them. But here's Greg Jennings, 9510. And then Tom Brady's second Super Bowl loss against the New York Giants, Eli Manning. And Mr. Salsa, Victor Cruz, 9510. Then they put Danny Woodhead in to represent the Patriots for that Super Bowl. In Super Bowl 47, the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Flacco and Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden. I think he was on the Super Bowl team for the Cardinals that lost to the Steelers. And then Mr. Nealer himself for the San Francisco 49ers, Colin Kaepernick. And Frank Gore, 9510. And then Super Bowl 48, Super Bowl I'd like to forget, Russell Wilson, 9510. And then Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, 9510. And this is another one that was in Panini Lux. Richard Sherman. These are very hard to find in a good condition. But at 8510. Then a 9510 Golden Tate. And that looks like that was for a different Super. Well, let's see. Looks like Richard Sherman was in the wrong uniform. They put the wrong uniform for that Super Bowl. This is for Super Bowl 49 that they lost to the Patriots. Then the second Tom Brady for the set, and this one is the only one that's numbered, and this is numbered 8 of 10. So I don't know if I'll ever get a 9/5/10 of this, but Joey helped find this one at Nationals for me, and that was the last video I made, was to show this one off and the set back then. So Tom Brady. This one just came back from grading, and incredible to get a 10 auto for Gronk, but this one is super clean, so I knew I had to send that one in. I'm just so glad it got the 9/5/10 status. And then you got Darrelle Revis for Super Bowl 49. Like I said, there's none for Super Bowl 50, and they have not made one for Super Bowl 50, 52, and now Super Bowl 53. So hopefully next year they will. But this one I didn't have in the last video, in the third Tom Brady auto for the set. So I have all 3 Brady so far, and it looks like they can make 3 more for the set. So joy on trying to get all those. But thank you all for checking out this video. I'm gonna upload it tonight. Hopefully it'll show on Friday or maybe Saturday for you. But thank you for checking it out. I know somebody asked on my previous video to do a man cave video. I will work on setting up my basement once I put up the cards in the display case, the ones that are normally there. and get everything tidied up, I'll make a video. Try and be a little bit more active. But thank you for checking out my video and staying up to date with my set with me. So thank you, and talk to y'all later. Bye.